Hello and welcome to Teleislas News in English, the most important news of the day. With the beginning of the national vaccination plan against COVID-19 in the archipelago, the Ombudsman's office announced that it will permanently monitor the evaluation of this vaccination process in the islands and the country.
With the arrival of the 42 doses of Pfizer vaccine, the Minister of Health and the National Ombudsman, Carlos Camargo, also arrived on the island. Given the panorama of alleged cases of health personnel who do not respect their turn and receive the vaccine earlier than expected, he asked the departmental government to carry out an organized vaccination and that there should not be privileged people in the application of the doses.
As Ombudsman, we call for the vaccination process to be carried out in an organized manner, respecting the schedule. Respecting the schedule is to respect the rights of all people who are prioritized, i.e. those in first line, all health personnel, those over 80 years old, and all people who come in the subsequent stage.
The Ombudsman made a call to the EPS of the department and the community in general to update their data with the healthcare providers for an optimal vaccination progress.
We also invite citizens and territorial entities to provide accurate information to the EPS so that there is a reliable database and updated databases for the vaccination processes to develop in the best way.
Today, a new batch of doses of the Chinese vaccine Sinovac will arrive to the island, which will be applied to older adults in the archipelago.
At a press conference, Colonel Maria Elena Gomez, commander of the police department, announced that in the last hours, 2 men were captured for the crime of attempted murder.
Hello, Lisa and all the TV viewers. We say hello from here because we just finished a press conference in the Departmental Police Department office. The colonel talked about the some different capture they would had in the last hours for attempted murder and personal injuries. This is what she told us.
Today we present the capture of Mr. Jorge Julian Martinez San Juan, likewise Mr. Luis Andres Martinez San Juan, residents of the sector of Orange Hill. On the first day of 2019, they have attempted against the integrity of Mr. Owen Hudson Farbs in the south of San Andres, leaving him with some injuries. These two individuals were captured by the police and in the same way will be placed at the disposal of the prosecutor as appropriate for the crime of attempted murder.
The colonel also announced that the information that the community have given them is very important to capture all the criminals that are in the department. She also announced that the checkpoints that they have in different points of the island have been crucial for this development of these different captures in the island.
Likewise, the coordinated work that is being done with all the military forces and, of course, with the citizenship has brought forth these positive results by the Police Department of San Andres. It could not be achieved without the coordinated work and the timely information that the citizenship is delivering. We are closing in on these criminal activities, and for here, there is no distinction when it comes to criminals.
The 2 persons captured today will put into the disposal of the competent authorities. This is all the information we report from here from the town of the island. Continue, Lisa, in the studio.
Thank you, Alice. And in other news, in the second week of March, the Rural Development Agency will deliver 500 million pesos in productive assets for 90 families on the island and will also deliver 6 containers for the island's fishermen.
6 fishermen organizations of the island will benefit from the containers sent by the Rural Development Agency, which co-financed the project with more than 700 million pesos, in addition to benefiting more than 90 families with 500 million pesos.
5 containers have already arrived in San Andres that will benefit 6 fishermen associations, 90 people from the island in our project of 1,050 million pesos. Our ally is FAO, or FAO. These containers will serve as a collection center, a point of sale, and we are going to provide them with elements such as stainless steel tables and tools so they can vacuum pack the fish, and among others.
In the same line, the representative of the project on the island explained what the benefit is about.
The idea is to sell fish in the different section, even so to benefit the community. If we see along the way, almost, if you want to buy fish, sometimes you have to come in the town, sometimes you have to go away. So that initiative where the government take is to give a different organization, so even so the people that in the community can get benefit.
The official also informed that there are plans to expand the project in the future together with the Rural Development Agency and the departmental government.
Much attention to the following note. Starting next Monday, the Spiny lobster close season begins. This means that it is prohibited to catch, sell, trade, or consume Spiny lobster.
Hello, Lisa. Good afternoon and greetings to the entire community. Well, taking into account that the lobster is a very important species for the ecosystem, the marine ecosystem of the Biosphere Reserve, the Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries want to inform to the community that from the 1st of March until the 30th of June, the ban of this lobster will establish. What this means, that they invite the community not to capture, not to sell, and not to consume this product. According to the law, the person who fails to comply with these measures should receive a fine of 1 to 1,000 current legal minimum wage, the immobilization of the means of maritime transport, and the confiscation of the license. This ban allows the Caribbean spiny lobster to reproduce because this is when they are mating. So catching the species during this season will prevent its procreation. As an additional measure, it is forbidden to capture, commercialize, or manipulate species below the minimum size, which is 14 centimeters of tail of any time of the year. This is very important for the community to comply with this ban because the lobster, the spiny lobster, comply and play an important role in the biological, ecological, cultural, and economic level in our department.
And this month, the first payment of 2021 of the Solidarity Income Program begins. Payment corresponding to January and February will be accumulated and delivered in a structured manner this month.
At the beginning of this new cycle of the Solidarity Income payment given by the national government, the regional director gave us details about it and how this initiative was born.
Ingreso Solidario es un programa bandera de Presidencia de la República.
Solidarity Income is a flagship program of the Presidency of the Republic that was born in the midst of the pandemic that we are going through right now. So it is a subsidy that the Presidency allocated for a value of 160,000 pesos per month. We started last year in March.
Regarding this new cycle, the regional director states that they have already started the payments to the people who are linked to the banking services.
En estos momentos estamos dando apertura al segundo.
At this moment, we are opening the second cycle of payments to users who are linked to the banking services. We started today with payments for January and February, and soon we will be announcing when the payment will start for those who do not have access to bank services.
The director of the Office of Social Prosperity at the local level announced that in the first cycle, approximately 3,000 people benefited from this solidarity income given by the national government.
And now let's go to other facts that are making news in our flash news section of the day.
The National Police in the department are visiting different commercial establishments to carry out prevention and control activities in order to mitigate the theft of commerce. On the other hand, uniformed police officers developed surveillance and control tasks in the tourist sectors of the archipelago to prevent behaviors contrary to healthy coexistence. This through the plans of registration control and strategic points on the island to ensure public safety. The Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago, Corallina, in the framework of the Black Crab Operation, installed during the weekend 2 new coral keepers in the pyramid of the Department of San Andres. A table type and another hanging rope, also last Tuesday, February 23rd, were planted coral fragments in the keepers. The Departmental Council for Disaster Risk Management met in the auditorium of the Departmental Governor's Office to develop the contingency plan for the dry season in the short, medium, and long term, defining the route and schedule for the sectors that do not have drinking water connections. In a joint effort with the entities involved in this issue, Veolia, National Police, National Navy, Red Cross, firefighters, Civil Defense, Air Force, and the control entities, Ombudsman's Office and Attorney General's Office, then made the approach and restructuring of the plan, socializing internally to then make it known among the community to prevent further blockages on the roads.
At this time, we continue with the weather forecast for today. The weather forecast for today, February 24th, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky is partly cloudy, temperature is 28 degrees Celsius, with winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 21 km per hour. Humidity forecast is 70% and a probability of precipitation of 6%.